Good morning, everyone. I am Janalyn Sodi, and I am going to report to you the Chapter 20 Monitoring and Evaluation of Plans. So, when we talk monitoring, it is provides real time information on ongoing program or project implementation required by management. This monitoring it is also track projects implementation, activities, processes, and outputs. Like for example, in classroom, when we give some um, project to our students, of course, we monitor our students, right? And we really make sure that they are doing their uh, their best to finish the project that we give the students. And also, it is continuous, more frequent, usually done internally, and it is usually rapid. And when we talk evaluation, it is provides more in-depth assessments, and it is also judges program performance, focus more on changes associated with the project, and information get from monitoring forms part of data to analyze for evaluation, and usually carried out by external evaluators. And it is also assessment of the efficiency, impact, and relevance of the project actions. So that is the meaning of monitoring and evaluation. That is the difference of monitoring and evaluation. So next we have the monitoring and evaluation system for DEX. So in 1980s, a project management team had been commissioned by the government to review the project management system of the Ministry of Education, Culture and Sports, or MEX. Headed by Ernesto Franco, prepared a monitoring and evaluation. So, Mr. Ernesto Franco prepared the monitoring and evaluation together with Fuente, Virgilio Fuerte of the Fund for Assistance to Private Education, or FAFE. So Franco prepared this plan. So next we have the Ministry of Education and Culture Project Monitoring and Evaluation System Phase 2 Program Project Review, PPR, Program Project Review. So this is the background. Project Monitoring and Evaluation System has been identified as an essential management mechanism to ensure the effective implementation of programs and projects under the Phase 2 of the MEX program, or the PPR, the Program Project Review, PPR 2. PPR Phase 2 covered the development and implementation of programs pertinent to the prioritized problem areas and issue of concern of the MEC. So they are really prioritize the problem areas and issue concerning the MEC. So they have 59 total number project and sub-project. So by the time all the projects take off and became operational. So the management office organized would have a cluster of documents and activities that they need to follow up. So hence the need for a monitoring and evaluation system related to the function of the management office and the overall objectives, organization and management of PPR2. So they build an organization. So let's proceed to number 2, the PPR Phase 2 organization. So that's why they build this organization, no? Um, at the box, you can see the ministry level. So that's the management level. Next, the minister. Second, the deputy minister. So as you can see in the box, here is the management team monitor. So Binosa, Fernandez, Suarez, Manipola, Santos, they are the management team that they're going to monitor. And then below the name of the person in there, the management team, so they have elementary education, vocational technology, and so on and so forth. So that's the program, then program directors. So below is the project officers, then milestone or activity. So as you can see, they already organize who will do the work for this, who will do the work for that, who are going to monitor the different program, like that. So um, to um, to summarize this organization, we have the management level. So we have the minister, as you can see in the box, minister. Minister, ministry monitors the operation of management office and programs. So the function of the ministry in there is to monitor the operation of management and programs. And then the program, management level, so program is the monitor the operation of projects, right? Then the project monitor the operation of activities and milestone. So that's the summary of this organization, of the organization. Okay, so let's proceed to the number 3, the management office function. Management office had the following functions. So first, formulate a work plan for the implementation of projects per PPR priorities. 2. Identify the office or agency that should implement these projects. 3. Oversee and coordinate the implementation of the projects and regularly monitor and evaluate the implementation of these projects. So these are the function of the management office. Then review ongoing program and projects. So they need to review ongoing programs and projects. So they need to analysis of project milestone and accomplish determined. Then confirmation of activities or milestone, then statement of issues and problems. So if they have some issue and problem, they need to address that immediately. Okay, so they really need to address that concerning the program and the project. So if they have the problem or issue with the program or with their project, so they need to put some action that resolve the issue. So let's proceed to number 4. So number 4, functions of program task and project manager. They have program level. The program director shall prepare a program terms or of reference and comprehensive work plan organized into a set of interrelated projects directed towards the attainment of programs, goals, and objectives. So the program director shall prepare a program terms of reference towards the attainment of programs, goals, and objectives. So interrelated project directed toward the attainment of program, goals, and objectives. So they need to like a teacher. So we, the teacher, create a lesson plan. So we also need to put some objectives in there, right? That we, at the end of this activity, the students will be able to identify blah blah blah, right that. I like that. Number 5. Program or project documentation. So program or project included program, project title. Number 2, name of the program director or project manager. 5.3, rationale supporting the need for such an effort, including the context. 4, statement of goals and objectives. 5, outputs and key results. 6, implementing strategy. 7, schedule. 8, organization. And 9, budget. So they need to have the documentation for that, project documentation. So upon approval, a project is activated and implemented by the project officer. So the management office monitor the process and its structural revisions on the terms and reference and work plans of all programs and projects, as well as the process of program and project planning and development. So they need to monitor. And number 6, the objectives of the monitoring system: to acquire the capability of to integrate project plans into a master network, and monitor and evaluate the implementation of PPR Phase 2 programs and projects. So they really need to achieve these objectives. Okay, number 7, PPR2 monitoring and evaluation system. So the monitoring and evaluation system would be used to assist the management office to carry out their specified function. So they need to use to assist the management office to carry out their specified functions. Specifically, the system would enable the management office to integrate project plans onto a master network and to marshal the implementation of ongoing projects and programs. Management and control are applied to assure project performance. It assists the program directors and project officers by standardizing documentation and implementation status report. So let's proceed to number 8, forms. So 5 forms were designed to standardize the documentation and reporting required. So the 5 forms were: first, the CPSF Capsule Project Specification Form. Second, MAR Milestone Accomplishment Report. Third, PAC Project Accomplishment Chart. PAR Program Accomplishment Report. PTR Project Termination Report. And these documents can stand alone. So you don't need to consult other documents to identify the supervisory hierarchy. The supervisory data pertinent to a project were presented usually in the header section of the form. So that's why these documents can stand alone. So let's proceed to number 9. So number 9, Capsule Project Specification Form, or CPSF. CPSF is used to prepare the program network. The set of program networks is integrated to form the PPR Phase 2 master network. So it is also present a brief and concise description of a project. So it is included a statement of objective, method, duration, budget, and output. So the data contained in the operational highlights are used to plot the project activities. The major events or milestones, which are listed chronologically, are numbered consecutively. For each milestone, the following are included. So the project and staff assigned, milestone output, expected start and end date, and budget if applicable. So it is really present a brief and concise description of a project. So let's proceed to number 10, Milestone Accomplishment Report, or MAR. So it is prepared for each ongoing project by the project officer. Header section of the form gives information on supervisory and time details, included milestone number, milestone name or description, name of project, Staff assigned, status, schedule date and ended, actual date, started and ended. Copy of MAR submitted to Secretariat, Program Director and Project Officer concerned affects their signature on the MAR. So that's the milestone accomplishment report. Number 11, project accomplishment chart or PAC. So it is provide a comparison of the plan with the actual accomplishment. Report format provides a comparison of actual achievements of events with their planned implementation as shown on two-dimensional grid. Grid represent time on one axis and the milestone on the other. PAC is the accomplishment by the Secretariat. A copy is provided to the Management Office, then Program Director and Project Officer. So, characteristic of forms used in documentation and reporting. So, as you can see in the table, you can see the different kind of forms. First, CPSF, number of copies 3. Then, so you can see the different forms, number of copies, the frequency, the uses, accomplished by, so you can see in there, submitted to, affixed signature of, then the different forms. So let's proceed to number 12, Program Accomplishment Report or PAR. So this is for interval part of the report. So number of activities schedule, number of activities. Second, number of activities accomplished. Third, variance data, number of activities done less, number of activities scheduled. So number 2, for the interval form project activation to present. Cumulative number of activities scheduled, cumulative number of activities accomplished, variance data, number of activities done, less number of activities scheduled. Then if the variance data is equal to 0, schedule and implementations are the same. If positive, number implementation ahead of schedule. Then if negative or number implementation is delayed. So PAR is prepared by the Secretariat. Copy of PAR submitted to Management Office. Okay, let's proceed to number 13, Project Termination Report or PTR. So it serves provide the basic for the administrative review of program or project accomplishments. B, as a format for terminal reporting to the Management Office for completed projects. Then C, project recycling diffusion of lessons, benefits, etc. and replanning for replication process. Then PTR will be revised when the fiscal requirements for the project termination are provided by the Financial Management Services Office. Then PTR prepared by the project office upon completion of the project. Then PTR submitted to the Management Office and the Secretariat. Control forms used by the Secretariat to keep track of the activities outside execution. So it is includes status of programs, terms of reference development. Second, status of project terms of reference development. Then third, CPSF and MAR control sheet. Then the various characteristics of the control forms are summarized in table 2. So we have summarized on table 2. So characteristics of forms. So we have the characteristic of forms. Okay, so status of program terms of reference development. So copies 1. Then frequency update when accomplishments are reported. Accomplished by Secretariat. Information presented. So as you can see, status of program terms of reference development. Then used to determine the degree of development of program terms of reference. Then second, status of project term of reference development. So earlier program terms. So now we're talking about the project terms of reference development. So copies 1, frequency update when accomplishments are reported, then accomplished by secretariat. Information presented, status of project of terms of development, to use to determine the degree of development of a project terms of reference. Then CPSF and MAR control sheet. So copies 1, update when CPSF and MAR are submitted. So accomplished by secretariat. Information presented, ID of project officers who have submitted required reports. Then use to determine which project officers are delinquent in submission of required reports. So they have this kind of forms. So project termination control sheet. So copies 1, frequency once upon completion of project, then accomplished by various authorized officers, then information presented, action done on the termination of project. So this is done on the termination of project, action done on termination project. Then uses to determine the status of completed project and the termination cycle. So that's all about my report on chapter 20. So I hope you learned something on my report, and have a good day.